Hi, Stampin' with Charlene friends. Today we are going to make this very, very fun and easy large candy bar treat box. You can adapt it for any holiday, but we're going to make it for Halloween right now because how special is it when on Halloween you give someone a full-size candy bar? You're going to find a link to the template, and what you're going to want to do is print out the template and cut it out, trace it on your designer series paper, and then have at it with decorating. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to do that. What you're going to do is click on the link, and that is going to take you to the PDF of the template. You can then print it out, and then what you want to do is cut it out, so you'll end up with this. And you'll notice that when you cut it, you're going to cut on, there's a little guide here. You want to cut on the solid lines, and then on the dotted lines, you're going to score. You can score it on your paper trimmer with the scoring blade, or you can do like I am going to do here, and I'm just going to put a ruler up here to the straight lines and score down the middle. So yes, even though this is the template, you still want to score, and I'm going to show you why. Don't mind this. This is the acrylic to my Stamparatus. I'm just using that so I can have a hard base to score on. Okay, so just score the straight lines. After you score those two lines, then you want to fold it on the score line, and then just make it go again with your bone folder and make sure that it's a nice, crisp, scored straight line. Just like that. Okay, now what you want to do is take your bone folder and then carefully go from this point here where you scored it, and you just want to carefully score in this half oval shape from that one score line there to this score line here. So it's going to look like this when you fold it. And you want to do that on all four sides. So now that you have everything scored, you just can go along and just fold those down just to make it a little more, what's the word? A pronounced score. How about that? We'll make up the words as we go along. So then you'll end up with your pattern looking like this. Now, the other thing that you can do is cut your designer series paper to 8.5 by 11. And then after you download the PDF, you can just print it out right onto your designer series paper. That would be the easy way to do it. However, I know that I'm going to mess it up and I'll put the paper in the wrong way, so the pattern will come out on the wrong side. So I'm just going to do it the hard way. Plus, I like to pretend that I'm in kindergarten and cut and paste and draw and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do here is, this is the side that I want to see. So I'm going to put the pattern on the opposite side, and I am going to trace it, cut it, and score it. But it would be much easier just to print it out on 8.5 by 11, but that's just too confusing for me. Now when it comes to the score lines, you just fold the paper over and then you make your dotted lines like I just did there. So like, for example, here, this is the score line, so I'm just going to fold the paper over like this, and then I'll make my dotted lines so I know that when I go to cut this out, I'm not going to cut that. That's where I'm going to score. And then we're just going to fold this over, and it's not really vital to get these score lines exactly where they need to be, because you're going to see when you go to score it, they're going to just naturally, you're going to know where the score line needs to be, if that makes sense. The other thing that you can do is you can cut this piece out. Because this is your pattern. And you can hold it up here, just like that, and then you know where to put your score line. So I can just drag this over to all four ends of the box and make my score line like that. Now, of course, you can't do this when you're actually making the actual box, but you'll see how it just kind of naturally falls into place and the box itself tells you where to make the score line. And remember, we are only cutting on the solid line. Okay, so now I have it all cut out and I'm gonna go ahead and score it. But the other thing that you can do, if you have a Cricut or a Brothers Scan and Cut, you could also scan the pattern and have the machine cut it out for you. I am not that familiar with my Brothers Scan and Cut, I have to be honest, so I don't know what would happen with the score lines. You might have to, I don't know, maybe cut it out and then turn it over and have it. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. I mean, I'm sure there's a million ways to do this easier than I'm doing it, but this is how my brain wants me to do it, so this is how I'm gonna do it. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing like I did on the pattern, but remember, this is the actual box itself. So I'm gonna make that a nice deep score there, and I'm gonna come over here and make this a deep score. And fold it, and you will see that the box, the actual box, is starting to take shape. And if you see what I mean, you'll see how you could even use your fingers if you wanted to kind of create the score line, but you'll see how it naturally wants to fold in like that. So let's make these score lines. So now to make these score lines, you can also take this little piece that you cut out from the pattern, put it on here, and then just score along the pattern. So you know where those score lines need to be. And you do that with every edge. Okay, so now we have it all cut and scored, and we can just go along here with our finger and press down on the box ends on that score line, and you'll see that it will definitely take its shape. And just make sure you remember what your inside and your outside is going to be. See how it kind of falls into place? And I think the person is going to be so excited, like, wow, this box is so cool, and they're going to have a full-size candy bar in there, that they are not going to look at every tiny little piece and say, oh, this is crooked. I mean, we might do that because that might be how our brains function. I know that's how mine functions, but I don't think they're going to be so excited about that candy bar that that's all they're going to care about. All right. So there's our little box. Now, before I adhere the box together, I'm going to go ahead and fold it up and make sure that I have everything all tucked in. Everything is pinched and scored together, so I know it's all even and matches as much as it can. And then I'm going to go ahead and you can use tear and tape adhesive, whatever you want. I'm just going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue because it kind of has some give to it in case I mess up. So then I'm just going to adhere it like that. Wow, I can't believe even the lines line up. Whoa, that's pretty good, I must say. So I'm just gonna pinch it together until it dries. And then the really fun part comes where we can decorate the top. I stamped my little witch from the Best Witches stamp set, and I colored it in with my Stampin' Blend. So now I'm gonna cut it out. And I also did the little frog, so it's gonna be so cute. Now I'm gonna start building the decorations. So I'm gonna take my old olive ink and a blending brush, and I'm just gonna give a distressed look to this piece of paper. This is from the Black and White Designer Series paper that is in the Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog. So I'm just gonna distress that. And I'm just gonna adhere it with some, just in the middle, the center part here, because I want the edges to stick up. So I'm just using my multi-purpose liquid glue to put that down. Then I'm gonna take some of the silver ribbon and tie a bow on the side. I use this so much. This is my very, very last piece. I need to order more. So let's see if I have enough to make a little bow. I hope so. Yes. So there's my bow. Oh, my box collapsed a little bit. We don't want that to happen. There we go. Pop it back up, make that straight, and now I can just adhere my witch. Right on there like that. And my little frog. Down on the bottom. And there you go. How easy was that? And here is the finished one. I also added some of the iridescent stars to this, if you can see it here on the finished product, the finished project. It is so cute. What I love about this template is that you can use it for any holiday. You can use any designer series paper. It doesn't even have to be for a holiday. You can put anything in there. You can put jewelry in there, loose candy, a gift card, anything you want. And it's a great way to use up those extra pieces of designer series paper that you don't know what to do with. So I hope you enjoyed this.